Hey guys, welcome back to the Kool-Aid Podcast. Welcome back to another video. On today's video, guys, we're going to be looking at the words of Hansi Flick as we build towards tomorrow's match against Real Madrid in La Liga, an El Clásico that could decide the La Liga title race. We're going to be looking at his words and as well talking about some of the potential lineups and some of the possible player inclusions as well. But guys, as always, make sure to follow me on all my social media platforms. Everything is posted down below in the description. Go over there and check me out. That way you can stay up to date with everything that I do on the channel. And as well, the link to become a member is also posted down below. But guys, let's get started with the video. All right, guys, let's get started with the video and let's look at the words of Hansi Flick as we build towards tomorrow's match against Real Madrid. Hansi Flick, he basically starts off by talking about the El Clásico. Obviously, that is the big theme of the press conference. He was asked about the significance of the El Clásico, and he says, if you ask the players, they always want to win a Clásico. The standings don't matter. We're focused on this game, giving it our all. La Liga is the most honest title. You have to play 38 games, and if you reach the end and finish first, it's the most honest title. He says we've been talking about the players' feelings. It's also important to talk about these things openly. In a match like El Clásico, you have to give 100% your best. We want to be active, dominant. Madrid is a fantastic team, but we're playing at home and our fans support us. But it's fantastic to have them. And obviously, there is no introduction to what that El Clásico is going to be. The significance of that game. When we look at the La Liga table, guys, we can see it right here. Let me just share my screen and make it a little bit bigger so you guys can see. But Barcelona, they currently have a 4-point gap over Real Madrid. Now, if Barcelona, they lose tomorrow, that will be reduced to 1 point. And with Barcelona's fixture list against Espanyol, against the Club, and against Villarreal, things could be very tricky and Barcelona can slip up. But if Barcelona, they do win on the night and we are able to get the 3 points, Barcelona, they would be extending that 4-point lead and making it 7, basically meaning that we would only need one more victory in order to seal off the La Liga title race. And that's why tomorrow's El Clásico is so important. We want to get the 3 points and at a minimum get a draw. We do not want to lose and add that pressure and make the things very difficult for us. Hansi Flick, he talks about that El Clásico in a little bit more detail. It says we have 4 games. As I said before, we're going to focus on each match and try to win every one of them. And El Clásico is the first and the most important for the Barca fans, for the players, and for me and my staff. It's fantastic. This has nothing to do with them lacking energy because they have it. They're doing a fantastic job and we want to continue in the same vein. And let's make sure we are able to continue that momentum and get the 3 points, because anything but a 3 points would be, putting Barcelona in a very difficult position. Hansi Flick, he talks about Szczesny. He says, it's Deco's job. I'm not in charge of contracts. I'm happy with him, though. He's always very positive, calm, and stays cool, and that's good for us. I think he likes to stay. He's more laid back. Sometimes he smokes a little, but that's just how he is. He's his age and very relaxed. And we talked about on the channel about that goalkeeper position. I do think that Szczesny, he's done a great job, to be a replacement for Marc-Andre ter Stegen. But we do have to keep in mind that we do need a top league goalkeeper who we can count on in the future in order to be Barcelona's #1 and able to compete at the highest level of the Champions League. And that is where we want to be. And so a potential signing there is not ruled out. And I would definitely be looking at players such as Joan Garcia as reinforcement for Barcelona. Hansi Flick, he talks about that Madrid challenge. He says, we see both sides of the fence. We have to be ready. They also pressure us man to man, and they do that very well. They have a very formidable offensive system. It's a possibility for tomorrow. He talks about which El Clásico this will resemble. Will it resemble the Clásicos of the start of the season, or will it resemble more of that of the El Clásico in the Copa del Rey, in which it was very tightly contested? He says, you never know how the match will turn out. We're talking about 2 great teams facing each other. It might be a little different from what the match in Madrid. Everyone wants to fight to get the 3 points, and I hope we can take them. And of course, that is going to be the goal. And when we talk about, Barcelona, we talk about some positive news. We have to talk about Alejandro Balde, and we also have to talk about Marc Casado, because both players have been given the medical green light. I don't think they're going to be involved in the match. I think this is just going to be a boost for Hansi Flick, knowing that things get very difficult and he wants, to push them. He can. This is an option. But I do think that they're not going to be starting. They're going to be most likely coming off of the bench. Let's see how many minutes they do get in that match. But having them back is absolutely fantastic. It is a big, big boost. And we look at tomorrow's lineup. These are the projected lineups for tomorrow's match. On the side of Barcelona, you expect no changes. You expect Chesney in goal, Gerard Martin and Nuno Martinez, Pau Cuarsí, Eric Garcia. In the midfield, Pedri, Frankie de Jong. Up top, Rafinha, Dani Olmo, Lamine Yamal, and Ferran. The possible inclusion of Lewandowski is also there. But, since there were some critics about Robert Lewandowski saying, did he force himself against Inter? And, I think it's better to count on Ferran. If we do need a goal, just bring him on in the second half. And when we look at the side of Real Madrid, it is to be expected. Rodrigo, there is some doubt on whether he's injured. I haven't been keeping track of that. He is a doubt, I would say. And on top of that, his form hasn't been that great either. And so Arda Güler is a shout. But one of Madrid's biggest weaknesses, guys, is that back line. As you can see, Rudiger out, Alaba out, Tchouaméni out, no, not Tchouaméni, Camavinga out, and Carvajal. And so when you look at Real Madrid's, injured list, this is a very extended list. Even Eder Militao, a bunch of them with ACL injuries, which is crazy. It speaks to the high volume of games you guys are playing. But Barcelona, they have to be scoring goals against this Madrid backline. This Madrid backline does not inspire confidence. You want to be looking at Lamine Yamal targeting Frank Garcia, and Rafinha as well, targeting Lucas Vázquez. And in the second half, you can bring on Alejandro Balde to add some width and even put some pressure on that left-hand side. And with Real Madrid, with a lack of options, Barcelona, and we have to be looking to get the 3 points. On top of the Real Madrid, throughout the season, they haven't been very good. We know that they're a very talented team. We know that they can offer threats. But Barcelona, we have to be getting the 3 points, or at a minimum, do not lose. That's what Barcelona, they are going to be trying to do. And guys, I want to ask you guys, what score predictions are you guys thinking? How are you guys feeling ahead of that match? Do you guys think that the loss against Inter is going to play into the minds of the players? Let me know your guys' thoughts down below in the comments. And tomorrow I will be having a watch along and as well as a match reaction for the match. And I'll see you guys there. But as always, guys, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you tomorrow for the watch along. Peace out, guys.
Wow.